So, we are here to talk about some of the things that you'll want to do as you leave the ninth grade community to make sure that you have a successful 10th grade year. So, a few things we want you to know about 10th grade. It is going to be a change. The biggest one being that there's no teams in the 10th grade. So, that makes seeking help a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to be able to go to individual teachers to advocate for yourself, to ask for that help, especially if you're working on specific assignments. So, you'll need to make sure that you are talking to your teachers, staying in communication. Another thing that's different about the 10th grade is that there's more flexibility. So there are more elective options, there's more space in your schedule. So you're going to have a lot more options in the 10th grade than you have had in the ninth grade. And we want you to take advantage of that. The last thing about 10th grade that we want you to definitely know about is that you'll be making a big pathway decision next year. So what that means is you're actually going to be looking at the Great Oaks option to the career tech pathway option for graduation. So that's something that we'll talk about a little bit more in just a minute. Here are some things that current 10th grade students wish they would have known going into their 10th grade year. Things about making sure that they were studying ahead of time, not procrastinating on assignments, being organized. Some students wanted to make sure that wish they would have known that lunches are divided up. So lunches will no longer be by grade level. There is actually going to be a mix of sophomores, juniors, and seniors in the lunches next year. They also wish they would have known it wasn't as difficult as they thought it was going to be. So there was no need to be as nervous as they were going in. It wasn't as difficult as they thought. So these are some summer activities. We're going to go over some things that you should be doing this summer to make sure you're prepared. The first is to complete summer reading and making sure that you're completing any summer homework for AP classes. So if you go to summer reading at milfordschools.org or summerreading.milfordschools.org, you can see the summer reading assignment. If you go to ap.milfordschools.org, you can actually see the summer assignments. You'll go over here on the left, select the course that you're taking, and information about summer work will be available there. So make sure you're staying on top of your summer work. It'll make your transition that much easier for 10th grade if you're on top of your work and not falling behind when you start. Another activity that we'd like you to work on this summer is making sure that you're using Naviance to research careers and college options. Of course, you're not making any major decisions on your career pathway unless you're attending the Oaks, and you're not making any major decisions for college, but every class, every grade counts, and we want to make sure that you're taking things that fit with your interests. So if you go to Naviance, it's bit.ly.milford.naviance, you can actually see some of the you can actually do some exploring. So on the homepage here, you can see colleges. If you go to the homepage, they have this option called College Fit Supermatch College Search. And from here, you can actually make some criteria to choose colleges that interest you. So if we choose criteria based on location, right now I have it set up for the Midwest in a small city. Academics, I selected a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, and I left it at that. And if you scroll down, you can see institutions that were fitting 100% of those criteria. So they were in the Midwest, they were near a small city or in a small city, and they also have a mechanical engineering degree. So I saved Rolls-Holman, Michigan State, and Purdue. You can add others up to 4 or 5 that you're interested in. And then you can come down here to the pin section and go compare pinned colleges. And this gives you an in-depth comparison based on location, academics, admissions info. So what are the ACT and average high school GPAs, information on athletics, tuition, all of that right here. If you want to go into a further look for a college, you can also go to their website or to their Naviance site, and that'll give you more detailed information. And that's how you can do a college search. You can also do some career searches. We want to go to you can do some surveys. So right now I haven't done any, but you can also take a look at careers that interest you. So these are careers and clusters that we have saved. You can actually click on these and it'll give you an overview of the career. It's going to give you information on knowledge and skills that you should have. It's going to give you information about tasks and activities that these individuals in those careers complete. And you can also see wages information. Some of the careers will actually have, if we go back to exploring careers and clusters and ones that we've saved, we can actually take a look. Like some of them will include a plan of study. So if we look at that, that gives us information about classes that we should take in college or in high school, and then also classes that we could take in post-secondary to make sure we're prepared. So this is a good way to help you plan out what you'd like to take for the rest of your years here at Milford. So we do recommend that you visit at least one or two colleges if you can this summer. And if you can't actually physically visit them, make sure that you get on websites and explore. A lot of colleges are now offering virtual tours, so you can take a look at campuses that way. And we also encourage you to save 2 to 3 careers to your Naviance account that are interesting to you. So that way you can explore some more options as well there. You should always check your school email for Naviance updates, and then also for updates from the counseling department. We send out a lot of information about activities that you should completing, checklists that you need to do to make sure you're prepared, information about volunteer opportunities, which actually leads me into my next one. Or actually, we'll come back to the Great Oak stuff, but we will send out information about volunteer opportunities, part-time jobs. All of those are excellent ways to build your resume, to get involved, to have new and interesting experiences. Participating in those can really help you define what you're looking for after high school as well. So specifically for community service, hours can be accumulated for community service awards from January to December. So come December, you'll be turning in your service information to your 10th grade advisor. And you can find more information about the community service program on milfordschools.org. But like I said, we send out a lot of emails about that as well. So talking about Great Oaks specifically, another activity for this summer is to explore the Great Oaks options. You can do that actually by visiting the Great Oaks website. They actually have a quiz. So if you're on the high school website, they have a quiz that you can take, and it will allow you to figure out which of their pathways maybe fits with your interests. So you can take that, and it's a great way to see if Great Oaks might be a good fit for you. And then you can also just learn more generally about their career programs that they offer. So they've got a lot of lists here that you can check out. So again, just a reminder, make sure that you're checking your email, your school email. We'll actually be sending out an email here at the end of the school year, and it's going to include information about your summer checklist, summer task list that you should be working on. It's going to include information about registering for some 10th grade tests. And if you want to do that, that information will be in that email. It's also going to include information about your school counselor and your 10th grade principal, and their contact information will be in that email as well. But lastly, we just want to say congratulations. We know you guys have worked hard this year. There's been a lot of growth, and we really do wish you the best of luck as you move on to 10th grade. Thanks.